Hey, very good morning to you all, captains, and welcome aboard. This is Captain Simmons speaking, and before we get into today's flight, I just wanted to give you a brief career update in terms of what's happening with the airline that I am flying for. So I have made the decision to switch back to fly for FlySafair, and this is simply based on the fact that I really miss flying at my local airspace or in my local airspace and utilizing these local airports that I have purchased. So I'm back with FlySafair, but then for all our international flights, meaning flights that leave South Africa and head abroad, we will be continuing those under our exhibition flight series, or our exploration flight series rather. So for today's flight, we will be departing from OR Tambo International Airport, and we will be making our way to George Airport, and we will be doing this flight in the PMDG Boeing 737-800, which is the aircraft variant flown by FlySafair in real life operations. In addition to that, we will be utilizing our Beyond ATC for air traffic control, the simple mode of self-loading cargo for the cabin operations, as well as GSX for all the ground operations. And as usual, the disclaimer is that this is a simulation, so certain procedures may be streamlined for pacing and entertainment. And in order to maintain focus on aircraft handling, all radio communications and functions will be delegated or passed on to the Beyond ATC AI assistant right after I complete the pushback procedures. So please note that while I am aiming for realism, minor deviations from SOPs will definitely be occurring. So get ready for a immersive experience as we navigate these local, beautiful South African skies together. And let's begin. Right, captains, I'm very excited to be back in the Boeing. Like I have mentioned to you, the Boeing is one of my favorite aircraft. So let's just hop inside, power it up, and get all the processes started. So we are gonna head to our overhead panel. Alright, this seems so strange because I haven't flown this for quite some time, but let's do this. We'll turn on our batteries, turn on the cabin utilities, IFE screens as well, and then we will turn on the emergency lights. And because we do have ground power connected to the aircraft, we will turn on the ground power as well, and the aircraft should come to life. Right, we will head over to our ADIRs, set them to the nav mode, then just wait for the align sign to illuminate. There we go. And this should just give us then a brief indication of how many minutes we have until alignment. Perfect. That's 7 minutes. Our window heats can come on, as well as our probe heats. And let's just move closer to our lights. So it is an early morning flight. We do have enough lighting out there, so we will skip the logo lights for now. Our position lights will be moved to the steady position, and the anti-collision wing and wheel well lights will be kept off. Right, and then in terms of our internal lighting, we will keep the seatbelt signs off, and we will then have to turn on the no smoking signs. Just having a look, but the emergency lights are on. Let's go. Okay, seatbelt signs remain off. Perfect. Right, let's make sure everything else is fine. Keep it off. Right, captains, perfect. We can clear this warning, and then we can move over to our flight tablet and call in today's flight from SimBrief. And once the flight is called in, we can then begin all processes. So I will call for refueling. This can be done by, that's fine. And then I will call for the catering service as well.
Aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do it.
and then we will call for boarding as well.
Boarding requested.
Perfect. Let's head over to our flight plan and just have a look at what's in store for us today. So I did say that we are departing OR Tambo and we are heading to George. Our expected time of departure is at 5:20 Zulu. So we do have some time to get ready, and we are expected to arrive at 7:16 Zulu with a flight time of 1 hour 36 minutes for today. So for today, our cost index is 64. We have an average wind coming in from 180 at 27 knots, and we've got an average wind component of minus 21, which indicates that we do have a slight headwind ahead of us. So this should impact the extra fuel calculations as well. And then our deviation is positive 4. For the flying altitude, we have been allocated a cruising altitude of 32,000 feet, and in terms of our weights, we do have an estimated takeoff weight of 70.5 tons. So we are flying pretty heavy for today's flight. It's going to be a full flight with full passengers on board. If we can look at the pax count, we should see how many passengers we do have, and that's 184 passengers and 4.2 tons of cargo. Alright, so again, our out time is 5:20 and our takeoff time is 5:40 Zulu. So we do have 20 minutes allocated for taxiing and getting ready to hit the skies. Under our routing, we do have the first transition waypoint, that being the HGV waypoint, and we then do have the final waypoint being GRV. And for both these transition waypoints, we do see that we do not have seals and stars, so we might be radar vectored in and radar vectored out, as well as radar vectored in when we do get ready for our landing. Perfect. Let's head over to our charts, have a look at the departure charts. Just find the airport chart and we are going to pin that, and then we are going to do the same for our arrival airport and just pin the airport chart. Head under the pinned charts, have a look at our airport charts, and just take note of important frequencies that we are going to utilize today. So for our departing chart, the departing ATIS is on 126.2, and we do have OR Tambo clearance on 121.7, so we are just going to note that as well. And this is OR Tambo clearance. Perfect. For our arrival airport, we do have the arrival ATIS set to 126.22. So we are just going to note that as well, and then utilize that when we are in proximity to our arrival airport. Right. So for now, what I'm going to do is let me just import this flight plan so that I can see it externally. Perfect. What I am going to do from my side is tune into the ATIS frequency, which is on 126.200, and then we are just going to listen in on the ATIS and hop outside and just have a look at what's happening. So 126.200, that's our departing airport's ATIS. Let's have a listen and let's hop outside.
Port information November 0438 Zulu, wind 060 at 6, ceiling and visibility okay, temperature 15, dew point 03, QNH 1020, VFR conditions, landing runway 03 right, departing runway 03 left, transition level 080, advise on initial contact you have information November. Johannesburg Airport information November 0438 Zulu, wind 060 at 6, ceiling and visibility okay, temperature 15, dew point 03, QNH 1020, VFR conditions, landing runway 03 right, departing runway 03 left, transition level 080, Advise on initial contact you have information November.
Alright, that's perfect. That's our ATIS for today. So we do have a QNH of 1020. Just going to set that up quickly. 1020. Oh man, it feels so good being back in the Boeing, I must say. So we do have an ATIS QNH of 1020. We are expected to depart from 03 left. Conditions are VFR, so we have clear skies, so we should be good to fly.
Just
no
up there
clouds
on your right hand
reported.
side.
Let's have a look at our charts again. So our departing airport chart, let's try and search for a SID. Our first waypoint is HGV.
How are you?
Let's just have a look. Should be HGV. Heidelberg covers 21
Morning.
left, 21 right. We are not departing from 21 left or 21
Can I
right.
see your boarding pass,
We
please?
don't have any other Heidelberg departure. Perfect. So we can tune into our clearance frequency and just request clearance for today's flight. So we are going to tune into 121.7 and request clearance. Perfect.
Hi. Morning, mind your step there.
OR Tambo clearance, good
How are you?
morning. This is FAOR 252 at gate Alpha 11 with information November, requesting clearance to George Airport.
Safair 252, Johannesburg delivery, thanks for information November, expect Rangus 03 left. Climb flight level 120 on Rangus centerline,
Hello
then
there.
expect radar vector Heidelberg. Squawk
Hi.
3001.
Your seat is just up there to the right.
Cleared to George Airport, expect runway 03 left, climb 12,000 feet on runway centerline, then expect radar vectors to Heidelberg, Squawk 3001,
Hi.
Safair
Your
252.
seat is just up there to the right.
Negative, Squawk 3001.
Squawk 3001.
Safair 252, read back correct. Contact ground 122.65 when ready for pushback or engine start.
Hi.
Ground 12265.
Just up there on your right hand side.
Alright captains, that was our clearance for today. We can set our squawk code, that being 3001. Right,
Hello
perfect.
there.
And then we have been given an initial climb
Hi.
to 12,000 feet on runway centerline. Awesome
Morning,
stuff.
mind your step there.
And then we do have ground on 12265, so we can tune in 12265. Just so that we are ready for pushback and engine start.
Hi. You're just up there on the left.
Perfect.
Hello there.
Let's head over to our FMC and set
Hi.
up for
Your seat
today's
is just up
flight.
there to the right.
So we are going to hit FMC. Position initialization, we are at FAOR. Gate Alpha 11. Then head to the next page, copy the left alignment coordinates and insert that. Perfect. Let's head to the routing page. We are departing FAOR. And we
Hello
are
there.
heading
Straight to the middle, then on the left.
FAGG waypoint.
Morning.
Flight number, we are SFR, Safair 252. And
How are
insert
you?
that. And then we can head to the next page. Our first waypoint is the Heidelberg waypoint, so it is going to be HGV.
Hello there.
And then from HGV we will
Hi.
be utilizing the airways. So the airway is
Hi. You're just up
Uniform
there on the
Zulu
left.
16. And then we will be heading to
Safair
11.
Oscar Alpha Foxtrot, Gate Alpha 6, request pushback.
And then we will be using full uniform Quebec
Safair Oscar
9.
Alpha Foxtrot, OR Tambo apron, pushback and engine start approved.
And we'll be heading to
Face south.
Charlene.
Pushback and engine start approved. Face south. Safair
Hi.
Oscar
And
Alpha
we will be heading
Foxtrot.
direct GRV. And that's for George.
Can I see your boarding pass, please?
Perfect. Can hit activate and execute, and that's our flight plan. For departure, we will be departing 03 left. And we have no sit. So we can just hit execute over there. And then again for the arrival, we are expecting to
Morning.
arrive
Mind
on
your
runway
step there.
29, so we'll just select
Hello
ILS
there.
29 and hit execute. Perfect. Let's head back to our routing page and let's have a look. I'll go
Hello
legs
there.
and then let's just flight through our route to have a look and ensure that we are
How are
on
you?
a good path and we have no discontinuities that we'd like to get rid of. So under the discontinuities, we'll just step through. Can just increase this. So we depart FAOR and we just continue to make our way down in the southern direction, and then we should be coming through at Charlene and be given radar vectors to then join so Charlene and then GRV.
Hello there. Straight to the middle, then on the left.
I see GRV.
Hi.
And then we might get 29. So we will correct this discontinuity the closer we do get to the arrival
Safair Oscar
airport.
Alpha Foxtrot, ready to taxi to the
Morning.
active.
Mind your step there.
But then again, we should be given arrival
Safair Oscar
vectors
Alpha
and then
Foxtrot,
we will
runway
implement
03
them
left taxi
accordingly.
via Bravo.
Perfect, so we are fine with that.
Runway
We should be at
03 left taxi via
5,500
Bravo.
feet.
Safair Oscar Alpha Foxtrot.
But I think I'm just going to do this. So GRV, previous page, we're going to remove the GRV. And then we will then add this route over there. And let's step through it and have a look
Just
at
up
the
there
change.
on your
Perfect.
right-hand side.
And we can hit execute and it should get us in. Perfect, that's fine. Right, I'm happy about that. Can
Hello
reduce
there.
the range,
Straight to the middle, then on the left.
return back to the plane mode, and we can just have the engine over there. Perfect stuff. We can return back to the route page, performance initialization, and then I'm just going to look at the weights and compare them to what we have on our flight plan. So our zero fuel weight should
How
be
are you?
62.2, and what do we have here? 137.3. So let's head back to the menu. PMDG setup,
Ladies and
aircraft
gentlemen, welcome on board the
displays
self-loading cargo service.
should
Please
be
place
in
your large bags into the
kilograms.
overhead locker wheels first, and keep your small items under the seat in front of you. These include laptops, handbags, duty-free and loose items of clothing. Once you have safely stowed your cabin bag,
Can I
please
see
take
your
seat.
boarding pass, please?
To help us ensure a prompt departure, we would kindly ask that you keep the
Can
aisle
I see
clear,
your boarding
enabling
pass,
all
please?
remaining customers to board.
Morning.
Your seatbelt can now be fastened ready for departure. This is a no-smoking service. Thank you for observing this policy.
Just looking for the kilogram selection here, as I think that it might be in pounds.
Hi.
FAIR Oscar Alpha Foxtrot. Contact OR Tambo Tower 118.1.
There we go. Kilograms, perfect. Now we can
Contact
head
Tower
back to our
118.1, FAIR Oscar Alpha Foxtrot.
FMC.
Have a good morning.
Menu, FS sections, payload. 62.29 and that's 62.3, so that's perfect. So let's set that up. 62.3 for zero fuel weight is correct. Our blend fuel for the flight, so we do have a block fuel
Hello there.
of 8.4 tons.
Hello there. Straight to the middle then on the left.
And then for the reserves, fin res
Hi. You're just up there on the left.
plus alternate is 3.1.
Can I see your boarding pass, please?
The cost index for today's flight is 64.
Hi. Your seat
Cruising
is just up there to the
altitude
right.
320.
Hi.
And our
Your
winds
seat is just up there to
180.
the right.
At 27. Transition altitude is correct at 8,000, so we can hit execute. Then we can hit our N1 limits and then just set up our takeoff speeds. I see that the aircraft is almost fully boarded, so what we are going to do is just turn on the forward fuel pump, and once that is turned on, we will then turn on the APU. Just set 32,000 feet and then hit the start button, and then the exhaust gas temperatures should start rising as the APU is starting up.
Can I see your boarding pass, please? Morning. Mind your step there. Hi. Your seat is
Perfect.
just up there to the
APU
right.
is starting up. Let's head over to our flight tablet and just do our performance calculations. So we are departing 03 left. We can import the weights from the aircraft, import the weather,
Sun Express
and hit
307.
calculate.
At gate Charlie 1. Request pushback.
So we don't have a D-rated takeoff. Let me just double check that D-rates
Sun
are
Express
selected.
307. OR Tambo Apron. Pushback approved. Face east. Pushback and engine start approved. Face east. Sun Express 307.
D-rates are selected. So we don't have a D-rated takeoff and a selected temperature of 47. So no D-rate, 47. And our N1 should be 93.4, which leaves us at 94.4. That's still fine. So let's do our takeoff. Our runway winds, we do have 70 at 6 knots. Our slope, we do have a slope of minus 0.36. And then selected temperatures fine. Outside air temperature 15 degrees is correct. Let's head to the next page. We have a flaps 5 departure. And then we do have a CG, so we can go to the payload. Zero fuel weight, center of gravity, or takeoff center of gravity of 19.1.
Sun Express
Perfect.
307.
Trim
Taxi for departure.
5.39. So we can just set up our trim as
Sun
well.
Express 307. Runway 03 left taxi via Bravo. Runway 03 left taxi via Bravo. Sun Express 307.
Let's just do this. 5.39 for the trim. Let's double check. Yep, 5.39. It should be fine for our trim. And let's calculate and recheck our speeds. 138, 38, 39, 41, 38, 39 and 41. Perfect. Right. So for our speeds, 138, V2 is 141, so we'll just set the V2 at 141. And then let's just have a look at our charts quickly. We are departing 03 left, so taxiing should be quite simple. We'll taxi via Bravo and make our way to holding point Bravo. Okay, that's
Sun
fine.
Express 307. Contact OR Tambo Tower 118.1
degrees, so we'll set that at 034.
Contact Tower 118.1. Sun Express 307.
Perfect. And then our flight directors can come on. Right, and then we do have, and we are going
Singapore
to need
478
heading
heavy,
select
gate
to be
Alpha
turned
2,
on,
request pushback.
and then we are going to turn on the VNAV as well.
Singapore for 78 heavy. OR Tambo apron.
And then
Pushback
we
and
can
engine
just
start
factor
approved.
in our winds, so
Face
we will
west.
request our winds data. And while that is
Pushback and
coming
engine start
through,
approved. Face west. Singapore 478 heavy.
we can just turn on our APU bleed.
All
and,
aircraft be
turn
advised
on
information
our
Oscar now
heads.
current. QNH1021.
For the air conditioning. Perfect. QNH 1021. What do we have? Okay, let's adjust. Our winds are ready. We can load them in. Then we can head to our descent page, forecast, and load in the winds as well. Alright, I am happy with that. We can head back to our takeoff page. Turn on all the fuel pumps. And then we can turn to the APU generators and turn off the ground power. Seatbelt signs can be moved to the on position. Anti-collision light can come on. Right, we've got power, we are good. We can request for the APU to be removed. So ground connections, air conditioning
Singapore
unit can be
478
released,
heavy. Request taxi to the active.
and the ground power can be released as well.
Singapore for 78 heavy. Runway 03 left taxi via Echo. Bravo.
Runway
Course,
03
and then
left
we
taxi
can
via
also
Echo. Bravo.
request
Singapore
that
478 heavy.
the GSX also prepare for pushback and engine start. Just
Singapore
want
for
to check
78
the
heavy.
panel
Hold position
brightness,
for traffic. I'll call you back.
turn it up to the max.
Hold position for traffic. Singapore 478 heavy.
There we go. Right. can request for prepare for pushback and departure, then hop outside to just have a look.
All stations, please arm doors.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Singapore for 78 Heavy. Continue taxi.
Ladies and
Continue
gentlemen,
taxi,
we now ask
Singapore
you to
478 Heavy.
Safety procedures from this aircraft. A safety card is in your seat pocket showing the exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets and brace position, which you must adopt if you wear brace.
Departure checks completed.
There are 2 emergency exits at the rear, 4 in the middle and 2 at the front of the cabin. Your lighting will guide you to an exit. Please be aware that your nearest exit may be behind you. In an emergency, leave all cabin baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air supply fails, masks will drop from the
Docking
baggage.
gear.
Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. Put the mask over your nose and mouth, hold in place with a strap and pull on each side.
Alright, all jetways are clear from the aircraft, so we can also turn on all our hydraulics.
From under your seat. Put it over your head. Pass the tapes around your waist.
Because we will be starting our engines, we'll start with engine number 2. We can turn off the right peg for now, so that we just divert power all the way through there.
Blow into the tube. There is a light and whistle for attracting attention.
Alright, co-pilot, continue to request pushback and engine start.
The tray table must now be stowed, armrest down, window blinds open and seatbelt
Safair
We are probably
252,
going to
gate Alpha 11,
noise
request
must face
pushback
to
and
the
engine
left.
start.
Safair 252, OR Tambo apron. Pushback and engine start approved. Face south.
Pushback and engine start approved. Face south. Safair 252.
Release parking brakes, please.
Perfect, we must face south. Let's start our clocks. Then we can release the parking brake.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at well.
Let's also just adjust our cameras and adjust the engines as well. There we go. Alright, we are past the white line, so we can start our engine. We'll start with engine number 2.
Singapore for 78 Heavy. Contact OR Tambo Tower
Let's have a look.
118.1. Have a good morning.
N2 is rising, perfect. When you have an N2 of above 20%,
Over to
we
Tower
will
118.1,
pump through the
Singapore
fuel.
478 Heavy.
above 20, pump through the fuel, and let's hop outside to listen. Alright, let's have a look at our parameters. Engine seems stable.
Please set parking brakes.
There we go, engines have stabilized. We can set the parking brakes, so we apply brake pressure and pull the parking
Waiting
brake lever.
confirmation for good engine start.
Perfect. Right peg can come on, left peg can come off. And let's start engine number 1 as well. Same procedure, wait for the end tool to rise. Above 20% we will introduce the fuel. Above 20, introduce the fuel, hop outside and have a listen. Right, that's our engine start. Flip through the cameras, perfect. Let's monitor our start. Waiting for engines to stabilize, and there we go. Engines are stable. So we can confirm that we do have a good engine start.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Right, let's turn to our engine generators. Your damper can come on. The APU can be turned off. Engine bleeds can be turned on, so that we do have some air conditioning and pressurization. Perfect, can turn to Gen 1. Switch back to the manual. Copilot, continue to request taxi to reactive.
Safair 252, taxi for departure.
And then we do have a flaps 5
Safair
departure,
252, runway 03 left taxi via Bravo.
so we can watch the flaps extend.
Runway 03 left taxi via Bravo. Safair 252.
Right, let's not miss our signature wave. There we go. Clear the message. Full left, full right, full up, and full down. Perfect. Our flight controls are all good. Let's make our way to the active. So we are going to taxi via Bravo and make our way out of here. We are still on time. That's fine. Brakes can be set to RTO. Taxi lights can be turned off, as well as the runway can be turned on, as well as the runway turn-offs. And I am happy with the aircraft in its current setting. Can turn to TA only. Right, release the parking brake. Let's make our way to the runway. Not more than 40% of throttle applied. Auto throttle can come on. So I am running the sim on medium settings. No frame chain turned on. All components of the, what do you call this, all components of the scenery turned on. It's inbuilt scenery, so we've turned on all components. And beyond ATC traffic is at a 5, so it's running pretty good. I am happy with its performance so far. We left some fuel in our center tanks as well. It's pretty good. We are monitoring that. Traffic is all good. Runway is nice and clear. Wind's not too bad. Right, we are over the Intel.
Safair 276, at gate Bravo 10, request pushback.
Safair 252, contact OR Tambo Tower 118.1.
Contact Tower 118.1, Safair 252.
Right, and we are just going to make our hold. Okay, let's try and get this turn. Oh, I missed flying the Boeing so much. I'm enjoying this so much. And we can make our hold right there. Parking brake up. Let's set up the aircraft. TARA can be selected. We can also select the weather and terrain radar, weather and terrain, weather and terrain, weather and terrain. TARA selected. Flap side position 5. Trim has been set. Flaps are green. Our good to go speeds have been set as well. And then on my side we can just activate the weather radar, and on the co-pilot side we can activate the terrain and increase their range. Right, perfect. In terms of the lights, we can turn on our landing lights. Okay, there's a click spot for them. Perfect. Landing lights can come on. Runway lights are on. Taxi lights are on. APU is off. Logo light is on. Strobe light is on, anti-collision light is on, PECs are on, seatbelt signs are on. I think we are good to go. Co-pilot, request departure.
Safair 252, ready to go, runway 03 left.
Speed has been set, heading has been selected, initial climb has been set.
Safair 252, OR Tambo Tower, wind 090 at 6, fly heading 040. Runway 03 left, cleared for
heading
takeoff.
040.
Fly heading 040, runway 03 left, cleared for takeoff. Safair 252.
Right, perfect. Let's make our way to the runway. Not more than 40%. Release the parking brake. Right, so it took us 11 minutes to get to the runway. Can stop the clock there. Just turn that there. Make our turn onto the runway and just center up. Perfect. Let's hold right there while we are centered up. Final checks. TARA set, weather terrain selected, flaps 5 set, flaps are green. Speed has been set,
Safair
heading has been set,
276,
initial climb
ready to go,
12,000.
runway 03 left.
Takeoff lights are on, runway lights are on,
Safair
taxi light
276,
on,
hold short of
APU
03
off,
left.
engine selectors in the norm position, perfect.
Wilco, hold short of 03 left.
Strobe light is
Safair
on,
276.
anti-collision is on as well. Perfect. Seatbelt signs are on. Right, let's add some throttle. Engines are stable. Toga.
Airspeed alive.
Nose down pressure.
FAIR 276. Runway 0 tree left. Line up and wait.
8 knots.
Nose neutral.
Runway 0 tree left. Line up and wait. FAIR 276.
V1, rotate. E2.
Rotate.
Positive rate of climb.
Keep the nose. Let's hop outside. Gear can come up. Perfect. Let's head back inside. Autopilot
FAIR
can come on.
252. Contact Johannesburg radar 123.7.
Flaps 1.
Contact Johannesburg radar 123.7. FAIR
Left side.
252. Johannesburg radar, FAIR 252, 6,300 feet.
FAIR 252, Johannesburg radar. Good morning. Identified. Climb to flight level 160.
160.
Climb to flight level 160, FAIR 252.
FAIR 252, turn right, heading 200.
Heading 200.
Turn right, heading 200, FAIR 252.
Let's just hop outside and
Johannesburg
have a
radar.
look. Mind
FAIR
your ears.
276. 6,000 feet.
Oh, beautiful takeoff.
FAIR 276, Johannesburg radar. Identified. Climb to flight level 170.
Climb to flight level
Oh man,
170.
this is beautiful.
FAIR 276.
Let's head back inside. We are above 10,000, so landing lights can come off. And our transition standard pressure can be set. Perfect. And then our center fuel tanks, fuel is up, so we can turn them off.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seatbelts fastened while the seatbelt sign is on. We recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated. Toilets are located at each end of the cabin. Remember that smoking is not permitted at any time. This includes e-cigarettes. In just a few moments we'll
Johannesburg
commence
radar.
our in-flight
FAIR
service,
Whiskey Mike
offering you
Papa.
the chance
Good morning.
to purchase from our
6,000
selection of
feet.
fresh food available today. All details can be found in your in-flight brochure.
FAIR
You
252,
can also
turn
purchase a
right,
selection
heading
of hot beverages
265.
together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept
Right,
payment
turn
in
right,
pounds,
heading
euros,
265,
most major
FAIR
currencies and debit
252.
or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we can be of any further assistance,
FAIR Whiskey
then
Mike
just
Papa,
ask us as we join
Johannesburg
you in the
radar.
cabin shortly.
Identified. Climb to flight
Thank you.
level 160.
Climb to flight level 160, FAIR Whiskey Mike Papa.
Safair 252, contact Johannesburg Control West 118.5.
Contact Johannesburg Control West 118.5, Safair 252. Johannesburg Control West, Safair 252, through flight level 138 for flight level 160.
Link 792 Bravo, Johannesburg Control West, expect below 1 Alpha, runway 0 tree right.
Expect Avalo 1 Alpha, runway 0 tree right, link 792 Bravo.
Link 792 Bravo, turn right, heading 200, climb to flight level 390.
Turn right, heading 200, climb to flight level 390, link 792 Bravo.
Safair 252, Johannesburg Control West, identified, climb to flight level 320.
320.
Climb to flight level 320, Safair 252.
Safair 252, clear direct Heidelberg. Resume on navigation.
Roger. Heading direct Heidelberg, then resume own navigation Safair 252. Thanks.
Hey, we've been given direct Heidelberg.
Link 792 Bravo, Avalo 1 Alpha, runway 0 tree right. Report ready for descent.
And we have been cleared to
Avalo 1
our
Alpha,
cruising
runway 0
altitude
tree
of
right, ready for
32,000
descent.
feet.
Link 792 Bravo.
Doing well so far.
Link 792 Bravo, descend to flight level 200.
Descend to flight level 200, link 792 Bravo.
Right, captains.
Link
We have been
792
cleared
Bravo,
to
clear direct
32,000 feet.
Resume on
And
navigation.
it is at this point in time where I'm just going to step away from the
Clear
controls
direct Avalo.
and let the
Resume on
aircraft
navigation,
fly
link
itself.
792 Bravo.
But I should be coming back shortly just to have a look at the calculations and
Johannesburg
time
Control West,
our
Safair Whiskey Mike Papa, out of flight
distance
level
to
170
the
for
top
flight
of
level
descent
160.
nicely. And then I will be taking control of the aircraft when we are about 5 minutes away from the top of
Safair
descent.
Whiskey Mike Papa,
But in the
Johannesburg Control
meantime,
West,
please do
identified, climb
enjoy
to
the
flight level
transition from
320.
climb to cruise and enjoy the cruising phase as well. And enjoy
to flight
the
level 320,
lo-fi
Safair
music
Whiskey
that will
Mike
be
Papa.
playing in the background. In addition to that, enjoy some of the snacks and goodies that our cabin crew will be sharing. And I will be with you when we are ready to make our way down. So enjoy the flight, captains.
Johannesburg Control West, Safair 258, through flight level 140 for flight level 170 direct Niven.
Safair 258, Johannesburg Control West, good morning, radar contact, climb to flight level 340.
Climb to flight level 340, Safair 258. 530.
Link 792 Bravo, descend to flight level 100.
Descend to flight level 100. Link 792 Bravo.
about to serve our hot drinks menu. Please make sure your tray table is in the down position and clear any items to the aisle. Thank you.
level tree 50, Safair 276.
flight level 090.
Descend to flight level 090. Link 792 Bravo.
Link 792 Bravo. Contact Johannesburg Director 121.4.
Contact Johannesburg
Johannesburg, control east 119er decimal 9er.
Contact Johannesburg, control east 119er decimal 9er, Safair 388. Have a good morning.
Cape Town Control East 124.7.
Center on 124.7. Safair 252. Have a good morning. Cape Town Control East, Safair 252. Flight level 320.
Safair 252, Cape Town Control East, radar contact.
items to the aisle. Thank you.
Contact Kimberly approach 119.4. Link Alpha Lima uniform.
Alright captains, I am back in the seat. As you can see, we are about 5 minutes away from the top of descent, so we will just wait for our clearance from ATC and then proceed to make our way down. But so far so good. want to have a look at our maps.
FAIR 252, Cape Town Control East, expect radar vectors, ILS Zulu runway 11.
Alright, radar vectors, Zulu 11. Let's accept that clearance.
Expect radar vectors. ILS Zulu runway 11. FAIR 252.
ILS Zulu 11. We'll accept that. And then let's have a look at our legs. And let's set up our course accordingly. So I will switch to the plane mode and then just step through it, and then from Charlene we are supposed to go there. Alright, perfect. We can just remove the discontinuity and do that, and then we will of course be accepting the radar vectors like they said. That's fine. Right, ILS Zulu 11. Let's set up for the arrival. Right, just flipping through the charts here. Just to see where we are passing over. Much better. Right, let's have a look at our charts and search under the arrival. Approach ILS Zulu 11, pin that, open it up, go to our pinned charts, approach. Right, let's key in.
Radar vectors, ILS Zulu runway 11. Report ready for descent.
At co-pilot, report ready for descent now. Right, 2,500.
Radar vectors. ILS Zulu runway 11. Ready for descent. FAIR 252.
FAIR 252, George landing runway 11.
George, landing runway 11. FAIR 252.
FAIR 252, descend to flight level 280.
Here they're giving us 280. We're just going to continue
descend
and make
to
our
flight
way
level
down.
280. FAIR 252.
Descend on profile, perfect. And then let's have a look at our approach. So our localizer frequency is 109.5. Let's just set that up. 109.5. 109.5. Perfect. Let's just make double sure. Approaching heading 116. There you go. Perfect. 2,500. We have set that up. For the minimums, we do have 822 for the minimums, and then the runway altitude is 622, so we will set 600. And then minimum 622, so let's set our minimums. Perfect. Let's go to our init page and approach. So we will be doing a full flaps landing, so 40-degree flaps, 132 knots. That's fine. We have set that up, and then let's just also go to our legs page, and we are going to copy runway 11, go to the fix, insert that, and then we want a radial for 100, 121 for 25, 121 for 15. Previous page, runway 11,
FAIR 252, descend to flight level 090.
F10,
Descend to flight level 090, FAIR 252.
and then you can do 5. Perfect. So we are in range for the arrival ATIS, so we can tune into the arrival ATIS and just listen in on the conditions to expect. So 126.220. Let's do 225. Here we go.
You have information Tango. George Airport information Tango. 0638 Zulu. Wind 030 at 3. Ceiling and visibility okay. Temperature 13. The point 09. QNH 1022. Obey FAIR conditions. Landing and departing runway 11. Transition level 080. Read back all hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information Tango.
Right, we have information Tango. The QNH is going to be 1022. We can just park that in the meantime, and we can set that up on our descent page as well. QNH 1022, and the transition altitude flight level 080. Execute. Perfect. We are catching up to the profile, so we should expect a steep descent shortly. Let's have a look. Right, we are still doing good on the descent. Let's have a look at Charlene. Just want to see. We expect to be at 15,000 feet at Charlene, and then our final fix should be at 2,500. Just want to have a look at our approach. So C11, we are supposed to be at 5,500, so we can just set that up as 5,500. Perfect. Right, so we're gonna come in and make our landing. Runway 11. We are facing maybe west-west, I mean east-east-south on this landing, the runway heading. So for the missed approach, they say climb to 6,000 on our radial 116 GRV. Okay, at D10 GRV, turn direct to the VOR GRV. Okay, and enter holding for 5 minutes. Expect radar vectors as directed, max 200 knots. So we are going to climb to 6,000, head direct, then make a turn, and then hold the GRV, and then expect further clearance. Okay, alright, that's straightforward. Our ILS is GEI, then we will pick it up on our DME equipment over here. Well, we are doing fine, can clear that. Let's see if we can run some landing calculations. So we have been given runway 11. Import the weather, full flaps. So we have 2.1 kilometers worth of runway to land on, so it's a bit shorter than usual. We used to 3 kilometers and above, so we are probably gonna have to use auto brake 3, full flaps, and let's calculate. Alright, that's fine. Auto brake 3. We are on profile. We can deploy some speed brake just to assist the aircraft.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be landing. Please ensure your cabin bag is safely stowed with your laptop inside. Your tray table must be stowed, armrest down and window blind open. You now need to be seated with your seatbelt fastened ready for landing. Please help us by handing in any rubbish, newspapers or magazines that you do not want to take.
Auto brake will set auto brake 3.
The toilets are no longer in service. Thank you.
Just maintaining the retracted speed brake just so that our descent rate can be high enough, but let's carry on. So when we do get to the 25 nautical mile marker, we will then adjust our speeds to 250 knots and deploy flaps 1. Have a look at the passenger views, very nice. There's the coast right over there, very nice. Gonna see the engine split very nicely when we do deploy the reversers, because we are going to need them as we do have a bit of a short runway to land on. And deploy our speed brakes. Right, and then we can start slowing down the aircraft, so many speed mode, and we will decrease our speed accordingly.
FAIR 252, turn right, heading 280, vectors for the approach.
Turn right, heading 280, FAIR 252.
FAIR 252, contact George approach 128.2.
Here we've been given right, heading 280.
Contact George approach 128.2, FAIR 252. George, FAIR 252, flight level 151 with the numbers.
FAIR 252, George approach. Good morning. QNH 1022, expect radar vectors fly LS Zulu runway 11.
QNH 1022, expect radar vectors for ILS Zulu runway 11. FAIR 252.
FAIR 252, turn right, heading 280, descend to 6,000 feet, QNH 1022.
Turn right, heading 280. Descend to 6,000 feet. QN H1022, Safair 252.
Here we will watch out for a 10,000 foot marker. Alright, aircraft is slowing down because we are approaching below 10,000 feet, so the descent rate needs to pull back slightly so that we can just make it on the speed. Okay. We want to do flaps up speed, so we are still good on the descent rate, we are still on profile, we are doing well. Right, we are below 250 knots, so we can just set the flaps 1, just so that it can assist in slowing down the aircraft further. And slow down to flaps 1. 280 knots. $250 still for flaps 2, so we can engage flaps 2. Speed brake can be retracted. It's important that we do have our terrain on. As you can see, we are flying in a very mountainous area, so we are below 10,000. Landing lights can come on. Flaps 2 is the maximum for flaps 5, so we can engage flaps 5. Perfect. Those are just my own calculations or parameters that I use for managing my speed on the descent. Let's import the aircraft weight. We're still too heavy. Alright, so with the auto brakes 3, we're going to use the entire runway. Let's have a look. Mix menu. Okay, We'll go auto brakes 3 with full reverses deployed as well. Let's just dial down the range on the co-pilot side so that we can see. We are still clear of the terrain. As you can see, it's highlighted in green there, so we are high enough. Let's just hop outside and have a look and see how close we are to these mountains. And we should be landing somewhere down here. Very, very nice views. Yep, the mountains are still far, so no collision there. Right, let's head back inside. Bit of turbulence there. We were told to descend to 6,000. We are at 6,000, beyond ATC silent. Let's go down 5.5. Right, we just wait for more vectors, but we are still clear of the mountains. We are still good.
Safair 252, descend to 4,000 feet.
4,000.
Descend to 4,000 feet. Safair 252.
Slow down on the descent rate, not to go too fast. We are picking up the DME, that's good. We are around 19 nautical miles out.
Safair 252, turn left, heading 235.
235, left.
Turn left, heading 235. Safair 252.
Safair 252, turn left, heading 235, descend to 3,000 feet.
3,000.
Turn left, heading 235. Descend to 3,000 feet. Safair 252.
Right, slightly rocky there. Bit of turbulence throwing us left and right.
Safair 252, descend to 2,500 feet.
2,500.
Descend to 2,500 feet. Safair 252.
Safair 252, 3 miles from CI11, turn left, heading 130, maintain 2,500 feet until established on the final approach course.
130.
Cleared ILS Zulu runway 11.
Cleared ILS.
Turn left,
And
heading
then you can hit
130,
the
2,500 feet until established. Cleared ILS Zulu runway 11. Safair 252.
Right, we have been cleared onto the ILS. We are aligning with the localizer at the moment. So when we do get to 15 nautical miles, we will reduce the speed to 160 and continue to drop our gear. Right, very windy conditions, eh? Winds throwing us up and about. Let's have a look and see how the passengers feel. Crew are heading to the seats. Good flight so far. Awesome. Almost 15 nautical miles out, speeds can come down to 160. Left stand can be selected. Gear can come down. Can have a look. Very nice. Look at that wind. It's crazy. Right. Full flaps.
Airspeed off. Airspeed off.
Right, we are still good. Approach mode can be selected for when we do catch up to the glide slope. 10 nautical miles out soon. There's the runway. Nope, we didn't miss the approach. It's not a go around. Yep, cruise ready for landing. Perfect.
Safair 252, contact George Tower 118.9er, bye-bye.
Contact Tower 118.9er, Safair 252. George Tower, Safair 252, ILS Zulu runway 11.
Safair 252, George Tower, wind 030 at 3, runway 11 cleared to land.
Runway 11 cleared to land, Safair 252.
We've got a crosswind blowing towards 30 degrees here. So it's blowing to the sea, down the mountains to the sea at about 5 knots. Right, we are approaching the glide slope as well. Almost 5 nautical miles out, we can set our approach speed of 132. And we have been cleared to land. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to land the aircraft. Haven't flown the Boeing in a while. Hopefully the feeling will come back and we can just land this bird nice and safely. Five nautical miles out, localizer set, glide slope set. We can set our missed approached altitude, and that should be 6,000 feet. Perfect.
1000.
1,000
All
feet
aircraft
crop.
be advised information uniform now current QNH 1022.
Autopilot disconnected. Aircraft is in my control. Let's keep her on center and on the glide. Right, raise the nose slightly. We are below the glide. Keep it on center.
Glide slow.
Raise the nose.
Glide slow.
Stay on the glide.
Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow.
Alright, you got that.
Glide slow.
We are doing well.
Glide
We are on
slow.
center.
Glide
There
slow.
you go.
Glide slow. Glide slow.
Right.
100. 50. Approaching minimums. 30. 20. 10.
Perfect landing. Perfect landing. Let's have a look at the reverses deployed. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Keep it on the center. Below 80, reverses can come back in. Manual braking.
Safair 252. Exit next available taxiway.
Alright. Flips can be tucked in.
Exit next available taxiway, Safair 252.
Perfect stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Auto
the
brake
cabin
can
crew
come
will shortly
off.
be leaving their seats to
Then
perform
we will
safety
turn
related
left
duties.
right here.
However, we ask that you remain seated until the seatbelt sign has been switched off.
Beautiful
Portable
landing.
electronic devices for messaging,
I love the
or
Boeing man.
internet
Oh,
access
beautiful
may help you.
landing. Beautiful landing. Let's
Please
make our
sure
way
that you
off
take
the
all your
runway.
personal belongings with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath the seat and in the overhead lockers. Do take care when opening the lockers in case anything falls
Disarm
out.
the speed brake.
Smoking is not permitted
And
until
let's
you reach
make our
Safair
turn.
252. Contact ground
On behalf of the captain
122.65.
and the crew, it has been our pleasure looking after you today. Our ground crew will help you
Ground
complete your self-loading
122.65, Safair
For the latest
252.
news,
Bye-bye.
promotions, flight and
Perfect.
destination information,
Strobes can
check
come
out our
off.
official Facebook page.
APU
Twitter,
can
or
be
the official
started.
self-loading cargo app. Thank you.
Landing lights can come off. Weather systems off. Terrain radar off. TA can be selected. Perfect. So far, SLC is giving us a landing rate of 125. So that's pretty good. Right, we are going to go to ramp Alpha 6. Clock can come on ramp Alpha 6.
Safair 252. Request taxi to allocated gate.
Safair 252. Ramp Alpha 6 taxi via Alpha.
Ramp Alpha 6 via Alpha, Safair 252.
APU has come alive. Ramp Alpha 6 coming up. We are about to make our turn. Taxi lights can come off. We're doing this. And then let's begin making our turn. Load down the aircraft nicely. Load down. Make sure the whole body crosses the line. Begin to align the aircraft perfectly on center. Slow down the aircraft. Perfect parking. Let's pull up the parking brake. APU is on. Can flip to the APU gens, and we can turn off the engines.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated until the captain turns off
APU
the
bleed
seatbelt
can
sign.
come on,
Once
engine
that
bleeds
happens,
can
we'll start
come off.
recording and you'll be able to leave the aircraft. Thank you. Cabin crew, please
Ground
start
operations,
doors,
set the
cross-check.
chokes. Right. Anti-collision lights can come off, seatbelt signs can come off, and let's prepare for deboarding.
Boarding requested.
Right, while that is happening, let's hop outside the aircraft. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to our destination, that being George Airport. We've made our way all down to the coast. Let me just stop our clocks. Total time of 2 hours 2 minutes from taxi at the departing airport to parking at our allocated gate. So we did do good. We did do good over that. I think we still kept time. Yep, we are still on time, as you can see. According to the flight plan, we were expected to arrive with an STA of 7:30. We've arrived at 7:16. So just like how FlySafair does it in real life, we always arrive early and we keep our passengers happy. That was an awesome flight. I really missed flying the Boeing aircraft. It was incredible just handling it, that beautiful flare right there at the end. So what I am going to do right now is just call up our, what is this, the Beyond, not the Beyond, the A Pilot's Life Chapter 2 scoring sheet, and let's just see how we did. They are not turn off the anti-collision lights. There we go. Perfect. And then we can also get ground power connected to the aircraft. And you can connect to the ground power and turn off the APU. Perfect. All hydraulics can come off, that can come off. Probe heats can come off, as well as the window heats. We are not turning around, we are on ground power. Perfect. And there are our happy passengers, everybody. So I'm going to pull up our scoring sheet so that we can see how well we did. Right, perfect. Let's just enlarge this. So we managed to score 100 out of 100 for this flight. We managed to attain all the criteria and did everything correctly. Landing rate of 125 feet per minute with a landing G-force of 1.09. That was a very smooth landing. Let's go further into our landing details and let's have a look. So we did make our approach. Beautiful touchdown within the dedicated touchdown zone. We still had ample space, and we did also manage to keep center on the landing, so I am happy about that. We had made our way to our parking spot, that being Alpha 6. Aerial photographs of the place looks very beautiful. Nice green vegetation. You can see that they cultivate land quite a lot here. It's in an agricultural setting. Beautiful view of the coast as well. We had winds blowing in from these mountains, pushing downwards, but not too strong at all. Perfect flight. Again, landing rate 125 feet per minute with a G-force of 1.09. So I am pretty happy about that, captains. Was a beautiful flight. Let's head back to the aircraft. Right, while everybody is disembarking, captains, just wanted to thank you for being part of this flight with me. It's always a blast having you guys on board with me, and for those viewers and subscribers who keep coming back, just wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart for the unwavering support that you have been giving to the channel and myself, and for always encouraging me to always just, you know, pick myself up and continue to enjoy this hobby of mine, that being aviation. Well, captains, that brings us to the end of this flight. If you are new to the channel and you liked the video, please do like it and then also subscribe to the channel. And for those who have been subscribed already and those who are going to subscribe, please also do hit the bell notification icon so that you can be notified about any new uploads that are made in future. Captains, I do look forward to seeing you on our next flight, but in the meantime, let's continue to share this love of aviation that we have. Let's continue to encourage one another and support one another, and see you in the skies next time. Goodbye.